Today, I wanted to talk to you about intentional decluttering. It's a lovely time of year to do this, and one of the things that prompted me to share this with you today is that, like when you're on Facebook and your memories pop up. I saw that I think I did a video about it last year, about decluttering, about how decluttering can really leave a beautiful space for the energy to flow in. So it really creates space for creation and abundance. And like if you're feeling stuck or stagnant at the moment, then I think that this is really going to be able to help you. So for those of you who have never watched any of my live videos before, in fact, you're watching this on my blog because I do repurpose my content. My name is Abigail Rebecca. I am a human design visibility coach, and I'm a thought leader on Aquarian women's empowerment and leadership. I'm also a trained personal stylist. I'm an EFT practitioner. I am a complete Kundalini yoga junkie, and I am a human design expert. My story is that I left a religious cult when I was 16, and even though I traveled the world and forged a really successful corporate career in the aftermath of that, it was only really when I started my business about 7 years ago that the feelings of not good enough and imposter syndrome and the blocks and the fears about being visible and being judged and being ridiculed really showed its head. And it really stopped me in my tracks, and it really prevented me from stepping into my true power as an entrepreneurial woman in the online coaching space. It was only really when I discovered my human design and started to really accept myself and recognize myself that things started to materialize for me, and I started to be more confidently expressed, and I was really I was really able to kind of position myself as an authority in my field. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about helping other women do that. So based on all of my experiences and my 28 years experience actually of coaching and mentoring women in Fortune 500 companies and in my coaching business, I've now created the tried and trusted Illuminate method, which basically helps visionary entrepreneurs amplify their visibility and their credibility and impact and create this beautiful space for pleasure and expansion and grow their thriving business empires. So one of the things that I always share with my clients when I first start to work with them is this real simple strategy actually, but very effective strategy around intentionally decluttering. So if you're watching this, first of all, if you're watching me live, because I'm going live on lots of different platforms at the moment, please pop on and say hello. It'd be really lovely to see who's watching live. Or if you're watching the replay, whether you're watching it on, again, one of my social media channels, or you're watching the blog, then I'd really love to know if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, any aha moments. If you are a declutterer, I'd love to know. If you feel that you need to declutter, I'd love to know. Here's the thing, right? And here's a question that I would like to ask you now. Just stop what you're doing, and I want you to look around your space where you're sitting watching this, or maybe go to the space that you work in, where you create. If you're a coach, if you're a practitioner, if you are a online content creator or a community builder, go to the space, your creation space. And I want you to look around the room and ask yourself, does this space light me up? Is there a clear energies that are flowing through this space? Do I feel happy in this space? Do I feel happy and inspired to create in this space? Is there a clear vista? Can I see things clearly? Or is it somewhere that I just throw things into because I haven't got enough room in the house for all the clutter, so it all goes into this room, as well as like throwing myself into it, right? Because there's nowhere else for me to sit within the house. Or are you in an office and, are the dusty books started to pile up? Are the piles of things around? Like, when was the last time that you decluttered? When was the last time that you tidied up? And I don't mean just going and doing a clean or running a duster over things. I mean really going through it. So I just wanted to give myself, use myself as an example here. So this is my office / walk-in wardrobe / spare room. Okay, so me and my partner share this room. He's also a coach, so when he comes and he coaches or he does Facebook Lives, then he'll sit in here. I do a lot of my coaching in here. Okay, so I am here creating, I'm here working with clients. And I noticed the other day that things had just started to get a little bit cluttered in here. It wasn't like an enormous amount of clutter, but I was definitely recognizing it and paying attention to it. And it was creating like an energy in this room that was a little bit stagnant. And I was like, okay, how can I get the energy flowing through? So basically on Sunday, I did a whole declutter and a real thorough declutter. I took everything out. I sifted through everything. I was looking through my clothes. I did a whole wardrobe declutter. I got my partner Kev to do a whole wardrobe declutter because I was moving things out. It meant that I could do a deep clean. I went through all the drawers in my desk and threw away like old books and journals and just things that I was holding on to. Now, the reason that I did this, and I did it very intentionally, is that I knew that by doing this, I'd create space and energy to flow in. And it's really interesting. I've run courses on this before, purely on decluttering. And one of the reasons why decluttering can really create this stagnant energy in our lives and make us feel like a little bit on edge. So I mean, hands up if you like to sit in a room that is cluttered and dusty and piles of things are like on the floor. Like, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel abundant? Does it make you feel free and flowy? Does it make you feel creative? Or does it kind of like make you feel a little bit uneasy? Well, one of the reasons why it can make us feel easy is that as human beings, it's really important that we have a clear vista. In the olden days, when we were all at war, well, I mean, that's probably still happening a little bit now, to be fair. But, like we would need to see a clear vista. We'd need to be able to see our enemies approaching from a distance. So it's something that's actually inbuilt into our psyche that if we don't have a clear vista, if we can't see what's approaching us, then it can make us feel very uncomfortable and very uneasy and very unsafe. So of course we want to be able to create in beautiful environments, and being in beautiful environments and piles of books and paperwork and dust and clothes that no longer fit us, that are kind of hanging off the hangers, I can never say that word, skew with, let's use that word instead, in our wardrobes. Of course, that's not going to make us feel great, right? It's not very high vibe, but actually there is a reason. There's an inbuilt reason for that, because we don't feel that we can kind of protect ourselves. We don't feel safe if we don't have a clear vista. So this is about creating clear vistas. So, psychologically, energetically and aesthetically. It's really important for us to hang out in beautiful spaces and to create spaces that we feel really good in, we feel really energized in, we want to visit and we want to create in. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about today is decluttering intentionally. So I could sit here and I could give you a step-by-step guide on how to declutter your wardrobe, how to do a wardrobe cleanse. I'm a trained personal stylist at the London College of Fashion. When I first started my business, that's what I used to do. One of the things that I used to do is I used to go into clients' houses and I used to help them declutter their wardrobe. And I noticed that when I was doing that, it wasn't just aesthetically it looked different. I noticed that they were showing up differently. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it's a real energy transformation. They felt better inside of themselves, so therefore they'd show up in a certain way. So what I really wanted to talk to you about today is creating this intentionally, because I could show you how to do a wardrobe declutter. You know, you can Google like how do you declutter your home, you know, what are the steps on how to do a wardrobe declutter. But I don't want to talk to you about that today. I want to share with you how you can do it intentionally, because you can, like with anything in life, you can go through the steps practically, but when you do something intentionally, it holds a lot more power around it. So here are 3 steps that I wanted to share with you today about decluttering intentionally. And it's something that you can do today. I would highly recommend that you do it today, because as I am recording this live, it's summer solstice. And the summer solstice is a really transformational day. It's the longest day of the year. And you can set some real intentions around your decluttering, about your clearing up your mess. So it's almost like I am clearing up the mess in my room. I'm clearing up the mess in my space. And what that does is it signifies me clearing up the mess in your life. And by saying that, I'm not saying that you have a messy life, but there are things that we need to clear up all of the time, right? That's why we do the inner work. That's what gets the shifts. That's what helps us raise our vibrations so that we can create these wonderful opportunities into our life. So this is about creating space for you to create, space for you to attract in abundance, space for you to be more confidently visible, for you to empower yourself and to do it with intention. So first of all, before you go into your space, I definitely recommend, what's the intention? Set yourself an intention. So for example, the intention that I set for myself when I decluttered this room is, this is where I serve my clients. And I want to show up as my most empowered higher self. So my intention for decluttering this room is that I am able to serve my clients in a better way, in a more empowered way, so that I'm going to be able to help them go out into this world and be more empowered and highly visible and confidently expressed, and to create the business of their dreams. So I was very, very intentional. And I was also intentional around the fact that, you know, I know that when we declutter, that the energy flows in. So as part of the energy flowing in, I would also love to have more clients flowing into my business, because I know that the more women that I can serve, the more empowered women we will have in this world. The world needs more confidently expressed, fully visible, empowered, wealthy women. So the more women that I can work with, the more that we will have that in the world. So I was very, very intentional when I went out with this. So that's the first thing. The second way that you can declutter very intentionally is to put on like some powerful music or some affirmations. So this is what I love to do. I love to listen to powerful affirmations that are laid over binaural beats. So if you've never heard of binaural beats before, I suggest you just go and Google it and find out all about it. It's incredible. I've spoken about it before in previous videos, and there are some very specific things that it does to your brain and your brain waves. And when you are listening to positive affirmations that are laid over binaural beats, it creates significant change and impact in your life over time. Now, if you are intentionally decluttering and doing that to the binaural beats and the positive affirmations, it amplifies your intentions. It supercharges your decluttering. And this is a very good reminder, actually, to myself as I'm talking to you around this, that I really do want to record one myself. I was speaking to a client about it the other day, and she was like, please do one. I need to do it. So there's not one available that I've created yet, but there will be one. So if you're watching this like 6 months in the future, then click the link below, and there will be a link below that will take you to that, which will be a free download that you can listen to as you are decluttering or doing whatever else that you're doing to create that movement and that flow. So you're setting an intention, you are creating positive affirmations to binaural beats. And, you know, as you are decluttering, the third step, obviously, is to do the decluttering, to throw away things that no longer serve you. If you have an open or undefined spleen, like me in human design, this may resonate with you that we can often hold on to things that no longer serve us. Now, that can be a multitude of things. It can be relationships that no longer serve us, like romantic relationships, sexual relationships, friendships that no longer serve us. It might be ideas and thoughts, or practices or habits that no longer serve us. It might be something physical, like the dress that we used to love wearing 5 years ago, that doesn't suit us anymore, that doesn't fit us anymore, that doesn't serve us anymore, that we need to get rid of. Okay, so this is a really great, especially if you have an open and undefined spleen in human design, this is a great practice for just getting into that habit of decluttering things from your life that no longer serve you. And just the fourth, I was saying it was 3 things, but the fourth thing that I really wanted to bring to your attention when you are intentionally decluttering is think about your environments within human design. We have 6 environments within human design. Let's see if I remember all of them off the bat, because there's always one that I forget, and I've taught human design for a number of years now, and I always forget them. So we have kitchens, valley, mountain, shores, markets, and caves. Those are the 6 environments that are held within human design. And we all have one environment in human design. So, for example, me, like many of my clients, have kitchens, human design, which means that it's important for us to be in environments that are very diverse and like we're in a hubbub and there's a real flow, an energy flow. You know, it might be that you're a cave person in human design, which means that you thrive in environments that are kind of like womb-like. Sometimes even with just one entrance and where you can sit and you're looking at the entrance and you feel cocooned and womb-like. So when you are decluttering your room and you're kind of almost like redesigning the energy in there, I also want you to think about your environments in human design. And I do actually have a training on that, which I am going to put the link down below, which you can actually go and find out more about your human design and environments and how it serves you and how it creates abundance and flow in your life, and how they really create opportunities for you. And it's not just going and visiting those environments, it's also bringing the environments into your home. So it's kind of like, it's very aligned to Feng Shui, I find, human design environments. So that is your intentional decluttering. There's no time like the present. So if you feel called to do it now. As soon as you stop watching this, do it now. Or you could set the intention that you're going to do it a certain day of this week. I'd really love to know how it goes for you. So instead of like going in and just going, oh God, I've got to declutter this room, oh what a chore, or paying someone else to do it, I would definitely I love my cleaner, and I'm all for hiring a cleaner to make it a lot to create like energy and flow in your life and your business. I'm all for that. But for this, I would highly recommend that you do it yourself, so that it's a real cleansing process. It's an exercise in personal growth, instead of just like throwing money at someone and getting them to do it, because that you're not decluttering intentionally then, right? Now if you've got a whole house to do, that's a different matter, and I would definitely invite some in house help, but for this particular exercise, I really recommend that you do it yourself. Let me know, send me a message. You can always send me an email, hello@abigailrebecca.com. I'd love to know how you find the whole process, and I'd love to also know what is showing up for you afterwards, right? What is flowing into your life? I really, really love to hear your stories. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Any questions, please reach out. Have an amazing day. If you're watching this live, have an incredible solstice, and I will see you all soon.